Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Mary with Sewing for Madison. If this is the first time that we're meeting, crafting is my passion, and I love helping others learn how fun and easy it can be. For today's project, we are going to be embroidering a name on top of this duffel bag. This is a horse gear bag, so it's made out of a really thick waterproof canvas type material. It's going to be a little bit tricky to embroider on here, and I've got one shot to do it, so hopefully it goes pretty smooth. The machine that we're going to use today is my Brother PR1000E, and for this design I'm going to use the snowmen. These are placement snowmen that come with the machine, and what's really cool about this multi-needle machine is as we're hooping things, if we are off in any way, shape, or form, there's a scanning feature on these multi-needle machines that will find this little placement snowflake and adjust the design so that you have perfect placement. I really love this feature about these Brother multi-needle machines. So I've already placed my snowflake in the middle here on my bag, so that part is ready to go. And our next step is going to be hooping the stabilizer. So we are going to use a float method with this project. And if you don't know what a float method is, what we're going to do is we're going to hoop our stabilizer, and then after we hoop the stabilizer, the bag is going to sit on top of the hoop. That's the floating part. So for this design, it's just a simple name. It is thicker letters, so I'm going to use a 2.5 ounce Cutaway Stabilizer, and then I have a small piece of sticky tearaway stabilizer. The reason why I'm using this is because with some projects, when you're using that float method, especially if it's a heavy project like this, there's a lot of weight to this bag. I want to make sure that it sticks correctly to that hoop. This is going to hold it in place along with pins. So I'm going to go ahead and hoop up this stabilizer, and then we'll get the bag all set and over to the machine. Okay, for this design, I'm using a 5x7 hoop. And I'm going to hoop both pieces of stabilizer. Okay, just like that. You'll notice here, if you can see it on the camera, I have a sticker. This is on my right-hand side. This is just a little pro tip. Because this hoop can go in either direction, you want to make sure if you are taking your hoop in and out of your machine that you put it back in the correct way. So for my brain to help remember this, I just put a little sticker on the right hand side, and that every time I have to go back to the machine, I make sure that's on the right hand side and I never put my hoop in the wrong way. Now that we have the stabilizer hooped, we're going to need to slice the top layer of the sticky stabilizer and pull that film off. The easiest way to do it is to use the end of your scissors or the end of an X-Acto knife. And I actually think I put this in upside down. I did. There is a papery side, and then there is a film side. I actually put it in upside down, so I have to correct that. There we go. Now I'm going to score this and then slice it. So I'm just making a really light scoring, and that is so I can get my nail underneath it and start ripping this film away. Okay, so I have the film all removed and you can hear it is pretty sticky. So now it's time to attach the bag to the hoop. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this strap out of the way, and I'm just going to use a giant binder clip to cinch this down to the bottom of the bag so it's not in the way. What I'm doing now when I hoop this, you want to pay attention to where your arrows are on your hoop. Try to get that snowman in the middle of those as best as you can. I'm actually going to make a little line right on the stabilizer here, so it's a little bit easier for me to see that. I'm going to press down in the middle and then smooth out to the sides. Okay, and now I'm going to try to get some pins in along the sides to hold this in place. The toughest part on this is these corners, and I'm just going to try the best that I can to keep it flat. Okay, now I'm working my way around to this other corner. And now I need to do the back row. Ordinarily, I would not recommend you lift the hoop off of your workspace, but unfortunately, in order to get these pins on this back side, I have to do this. Okay, so I have as many pins in there as I possibly can get in there, and we are ready to head over to the machine. Okay, so I'm going to insert this into the machine. Make sure it clicks on both sides. And then I'm going to try to fold the bottom part of the duffel bag underneath my arms that come out right here. Hopefully we're not going to catch. All right, so what I have done is I've preloaded my design already into my machine. I did flip it around so that it does embroider the right direction. I've loaded my thread, and what we're going to do is find that snowflake. When I was doing the snowman placement scan, I noticed that the zipper was sticking up a little bit high on each edge. So it was catching on the bottom of the presser foot, which you can't see at this angle. So I've gone ahead and I've taped those down, and I've put the hoop in, and now I need to do one more scan before we start stitching. Okay, the machine's telling me to remove the placement sticker. And now we're ready to begin stitching. Now the weight of this bag is pretty heavy, so I'm gonna have to hold it up the entire time for stitching. Luckily, this is a short stitch out. Okay, the last part of this, now that it's stitched out, is to remove our pins and trim the stabilizer. I'm going to take my tape off first. I really like the teal color that Madison picked out for her name. Alright, I'm going to show you a close-up of the stitching. Came out really nice. I'm going to use just a paper towel and some water to get rid of my water-soluble ink there. But overall, it came out great. It's nice and straight. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this stabilizer off. Now, since I am using Cutaway, I'm going to leave just a little bit, probably about 1/4 of an inch allowance around this name here, and that will ensure that the stitching stays intact. But before I start cutting, I'm going to remove the sticky stabilizer, the tearaway, because we don't need that in there. I'm using my finger as a guide on the back here so that I don't actually cut the bag itself. Sometimes if you're using smaller projects, you can hold it up to a light if you have trouble with that. This I can't really hold up to the light, so I'm just going to use my finger. Sorry, this is really awkward to cut without being in the way. All right, there we go. All right, all together, all finished. So let's just recap what we went over as far as supplies to start our project. So I used 2.5 ounce Cutaway Stabilizer. I buy mine in a 12-inch roll on Amazon, and I will link that down in the description. I also used a sheet of sticky tearaway. I'll link that as well. You can get that on Amazon. The thread that I used for today's project is from new Brothreads. I would tell you the number of the color, but unfortunately the sticker's missing, so I have no idea what color number it is. And other than that, I just used some basic scissors, a X-Acto knife, and that's about it that we use for a project. To do the name, I used Embroider software, and you can do that with the Enthusiast program. And then I transferred it to a USB and put it in the machine that way. So I'll put a link down in the description for the embroiderings part as well. I know I didn't do a tutorial on how to do a name in embroiderings, but if you guys are interested in seeing that, just let me know and I can make a video on that. Well, I hope that you enjoyed our tutorial today. Make sure that you smash that like button and you consider subscribing. I'm really trying to help my channel grow. You can help me grow and get to 1,000 subscribers by liking and then sharing this video with one of your crafting friends. Make sure to add some comments below. Anytime I get comments, it kind of boosts me in the search algorithm, so I'd really appreciate that. And until next time, happy crafting.